Joined by Marty Biron. Marty, Sweden has unveiled its roster for the Four Nations face-off. William Nylander leads the team up front. He represented the senior team twice, 32 points in 18 games,
Yep.
won an MVP, a gold medal at the 2017 Worlds. He's joined by other stars, Elias Pettersson, Philip Forsberg, Mika Zibanejad, Elias Lindholm. So, Marty, how do you like the Swedes up front?
Well, I think they're pretty stacked, right? And the Swedes have always been kind of sneaky good up front with the Matt Sundin and the Sedins and the Peter Forsberg. And there's always been a lot of firepower there, especially when you put them all together. And they know their systems. They can read off of one another and they play well as a group. So, yeah, I look at, Jesper Bratt. Like, this is one that can come in and really have a significant impact offensively in a short-term tournament. Will Nylander is definitely one that I look at. I look at Elias Pettersson. Can he get hot? Forsberg, same thing. So I think offensively, now the Swedes are not at the same level as Team Canada and Team USA, but in a short tournament, they can surprise and have just enough firepower to scramble things up. And I'm really looking forward to see how they look on the ice.
What about their back end? The Swedes have got some pretty impressive talent there. The list includes Rasmus Dahlin, Matthias Ekholm, Victor Hedman, Jonas Brodin. What stands out to you about their blue line, Marty?
Well, I think that they're big. I mean, Hedman and Dahlin are pretty solid physically, right? And they can play multiple games. Like, Dahlin can be asked to play defensively. Hedman can be asked to play defensively. And then if you need some offense, you can put it all together. Ekholm's the same way. Ekholm is used to playing with really, really high-end talent like Evan Bouchard. But if you want Ekholm to just stay back and be a stay-at-home defenseman, he can also do it. So I really like the size at the blue line when it comes to Sweden. And again, that has been a pivotal point with all the Swedish teams that have had success, right? You've got the sneaky offense and you've got the strong size defenseman that can manage, all aspects of the game. So I'm really impressed with the way that this roster comes together. Let's not forget, there's only 67 Swedish skaters in the NHL, and they had to pick 20 skaters for that tournament. So a third of their skaters are there, and they're able to put that high quality of a roster. I'm impressed with Sweden.
Listen, their former coach Johan Garpenlov said the team should not have taken Erik Karlsson because he could become a defensive liability. What do you think? Is Karlsson worth the risk in this tournament, Marty?
I think he's worth the risk. Listen, he's still putting up points and assists, right? And offensively, he can be a difference maker, especially when you play with high-end players like what Sweden is going to put on the ice. But obviously, you're not going to ask Erik Karlsson to be top pair defenseman, to be a shutdown defenseman, to play against the other team's best lines. Despite the fact that it is a Four Nations tournament, every line is an NHL best line, but still, you can surround Erik Karlsson, you can help him, put him in better situation, use him on the power play, or not use him at all. You got 7 defensemen named to the roster, so maybe he comes in as number 7 and doesn't see much ice. But I think he's still a chance that you should take for Team Sweden and bring Erik Karlsson and hope that maybe he's a point a game and all assist in the tournament and he makes a difference offensively.
All right, Marty, here it is. Let's get to the goalies now. The Swedes have got Markstrom, Gustafsson, and Ullmark. Who do you think starts for them?
Well, if it was just me, I'd start Gustafsson. I think he's had the best season out of anybody. I think they will go with Jacob Markstrom, though, but it's still in February, so a lot can happen until then. But Markstrom, with the New Jersey Devils this year, has had a lot of success. Linus Ullmark with Ottawa, just a little bit, not as good in the rhythm, and the numbers are not quite there to say, oh, yeah, we're picking Ullmark. And so I'm kind of looking between Markstrom and Gustafsson. And I think Markstrom has the experience. Markstrom is, the older. He's big. He's used to facing top end, talent. I think Gustafsson is a great story and could come in if all of a sudden Markstrom doesn't play well. But if the tournament started this week, I'd have Markstrom 1, Gustafsson 2, and potentially Ullmark 3. But it's still a really good trio to have in net for Sweden.
All right, big picture now. How do you like the overall roster? Where do you think they rank amongst the 4 teams going to the tournament, Marty?
I'm going to put him at number 3, but with a very small asterisk that this is the team, in my opinion, that can really shake things up, that can surprise a team and slide into the final. And then all of a sudden, you have to play against Sweden. That can, really wear you down, and they can be physical and they can be good offensively. They have the strong defense that can wear you down. So, look, do I put him in my favorite? To be in the top 2? No, but if there was a long shot that I think can win it all, I would think Sweden would be that long shot that can go and not just make it to the final, but win a 4 nations face-off gold medal, if we can call it a gold medal.
Bold prediction from Marty Brown. For the record, FanDuel has the Swedes at 3rd at plus 490 to win the tournament.
The Toronto Maple Leafs may be taking a new approach to salary management, which could directly impact Mitch Marner's contract negotiations. During Kyle Dubas' tenure as general manager, the team didn't hesitate to spend heavily, and this trend began with a 6-year extension signed by Marner in 2019. At the time, Marner's $10.9 million annual cap hit set the market for superstar wingers, surpassing comparable players like Mikko Rantanen of the Colorado Avalanche, who signed a 6-year deal with a $9.25 million annual cap hit. Now, however, times seem to be changing. TSN's Pierre LeBrun recently reported that the Maple Leafs have implemented an internal salary cap, aiming to ensure no player earns more than captain Austin Matthews, who signed a 4-year extension worth $13.25 million per season in August 2023. The team's primary concern revolves around Marner's agent, Darren Ferris, who, according to LeBrun, might push for a percentage of the total salary cap instead of a fixed dollar amount. This could result in Marner's cap hit exceeding Matthews' $13.25 million, conflicting with the Leafs' new financial strategy. Ferris is known for driving negotiations to the limit, often taking his clients to free agency. This raises fears that discussions between Marner and the Leafs could drag on until July 1st, giving Marner and his camp all the leverage in negotiations. Another complicating factor is the rising market. LeBrun noted that Mikko Rantanen believes he could secure $14 million per season as a free agent. This sparks the question, could Marner demand even more? And would Ferris take that gamble, knowing the Leafs might opt to move on and sign another player? Marner has made it clear on multiple occasions that Toronto is where he wants to be. As a local player with deep ties to the city, he's expressed his desire to spend his entire career wearing the blue and white of the Leafs. However, staying with the team may require him to accept less than market value, especially if the front office remains committed to its new salary structure. Such a sacrifice could be vital for the team's collective success and to avoid financial issues that have plagued the recent past. While negotiations are still in the early stages, it's evident that Marner's future with the Leafs is at stake. Maple Leafs fans may need to prepare for the possibility of significant changes, but they can also trust in the player's commitment to the city and the franchise to find a compromise. The Maple Leafs' decision to implement an internal salary cap reflects a broader shift in their team-building philosophy. After years of prioritizing top-end talent with hefty contracts, the organization appears determined to strike a balance between superstar contracts and depth throughout the roster. This strategy aims to avoid the pitfalls of past seasons, where a lack of financial flexibility often left the team vulnerable in critical playoff moments. For Mitch Marner, this shift creates a unique challenge. On one hand, his value to the Leafs is undeniable. A consistent top scorer and elite playmaker, Marner has been instrumental in driving the team's offense. On the other hand, his ability to command a salary that rivals or exceeds Austin Matthews could put the Leafs in a difficult position, especially with a potential need to strengthen other areas of the roster. As the 2023-24 season progresses, the Leafs must weigh the potential consequences of sticking to their cap philosophy. Losing a homegrown talent like Marner would undoubtedly sting for fans and the organization alike. However, allowing one player to dictate financial terms beyond the team's structure could hinder long-term success and force painful sacrifices elsewhere. Adding to the complexity is the looming free agency of William Nylander. If the Leafs are to stick to their internal salary cap, they may also face challenges in retaining Nylander, who could command a significant raise. Balancing contracts for both Marner and Nylander within the new framework could prove to be the ultimate test for Toronto's management team. Another factor at play is the team's ultimate goal, winning the Stanley Cup. While star players like Marner and Matthews are crucial, history has shown that depth and balanced rosters often prevail in the postseason. If the Leafs fail to manage their finances effectively, they risk falling short of building a championship-caliber team, even with elite talent. For Marner, the decision to stay with the Leafs might come down to more than just dollars. His connection to the city, the fans, and his teammates could be deciding factors. If he prioritizes legacy and loyalty over maximizing earnings, there's a strong possibility that he'll work with the team to find a deal that benefits both parties. Negotiations will also test Darren Ferris, known for his hardline tactics in securing lucrative deals for his clients. While pushing for top dollar is expected, Ferris may need to weigh the risks of alienating the Leafs management and fanbase. A prolonged stalemate could damage Marner's relationship with the team and its supporters. The Leafs management, led by general manager Brad Treliving, faces a pivotal moment. Treliving's reputation as a negotiator and team builder will be on full display as he navigates this high-stakes scenario. Striking the right balance could solidify his tenure in Toronto, while a misstep might set the team back for years. For Maple Leafs fans, the coming months will be filled with anticipation and uncertainty. Marner's future, along with the team's ability to stay competitive under financial constraints, will likely dominate conversations as the season unfolds. Supporters can only hope that the team's new approach leads to greater playoff success and, ultimately, the elusive championship. In the end, the outcome of these negotiations could redefine the Maple Leafs' identity for years to come. Whether it results in retaining Marner or reshaping the roster, the team's commitment to an internal